allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much.
Thank God for America.
Kathleen, roll call, please.
Davidson,
Here.
Fleming,
Here.
McCampbell,
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Your Honor, the first motion on agenda that the resignation of Councilmember Tim Scott, effective August 14th, 2017, caused a vacancy to occur on the Burlington City Council. Section 372.13 of the Iowa Code provides that the City Council has the option for filling the vacancy by appointment. The Burlington City Council now appoints Becky Anderson to fill the council vacancy created by the resignation of Councilmember Tim Scott, effective September 18th, 2017, until regular election canvass certified and the top incumbent winning candidate is sworn in.
Want a second?
Second.
Davidson,
Aye.
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Yes.
Wilson.
Aye.
Becky, you did it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome back.
Yeah.
You're glutton for punishment.
So you stand up.
Sure. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Rebecca Anderson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of
discharge all the duties of
the office of council member
the office of council member
in and for the city of Burlington, Iowa,
in and for the city of Burlington, Iowa,
as now and hereafter
as now and hereafter
required by law.
required by law.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice to have you back.
Thanks. Glad to be back.
Before we go any further, would you like to say anything?
I don't really have, I guess it kind of feels like I haven't been gone, so I'm just ready to get to work and get through the next couple of months and
Yay.
till the election.
Thank you.
Good choice, Council. Good choice.
Amen. Amen. Well done. Mayor Pro Tem.
Next is a proclamation. Whereas the City of Burlington honors Kenneth L. Hillier for his long tenure of outstanding service to citizens of Burlington. And whereas Kenneth has been an outstanding and dedicated employee for a little over 43 years. And whereas Kenneth began his employment in September 1974 in the Property Maintenance Department for the City of Burlington. After a short stay at Property Maintenance, he transferred to the Streets and Sewer Division of Public Works. He worked at the Street and Sewer Department on the day shift until September 8, 1987. That is the date he became the designated night man for the Street and Sewers Department, where he stayed until his retirement date. Think about that, folks. Since '87, the night person. Whereas Kenneth has been a loyal employee throughout his career with the City of Burlington. He received numerous letters of commendation from business owners downtown, as well as emergency personnel throughout the city. He also worked many weekends and holidays away from his family during snow, storms, and heavy rain events. He will be missed by his City of Burlington colleagues and citizens of our community. Kenneth truly has made Burlington a better place to live, work, and play. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Burlington, do hereby recognize and commend Kenneth for his conscientious and faithful service. We extend our appreciation and our congratulations on a successful career and wish him the very best in retirement. Signed and sealed this 18th day of September 2017, Shane A. McCampbell, Mayor. And do you want to do that right now?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do this right now. We'll just give them to you at the same time. I also have a plaque for you, and before I read the plaque, I just want to say that I haven't known Kenneth all that long. The first time I really met him, I was slipping in to do some work about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and he was downtown working like he was on a mission, and there was nobody around. It was like there was a camera on him. I told him, I said, man, slow down, you're going to break something. He said, hey, just do what you got to do. And I'll tell you, if every city employee was like you, what a city we would have. So just really blessed to give this to you. It says the City of Burlington hereby honors Kenneth Hillier in recognition and appreciation of 43 years of dedication, service, faithfully and loyally serving the citizens of Burlington. And now he's punking out on us. Retiring September 29th, 2017, presented by Burlington City Council. Come on down.
Don't thank me, you work for it. But I'd love to get a picture. Come on, guys, let's get a picture taken with this guy, man. It's gonna be worth some money.
Yep, thank you.
How you want to. They'll do this for you.
1, 2, 3.
Should we try one where I'm not giving Jim Davidson rabbit ears?
Oh, there, that's nice. 1, 2, 3.
You know, when you work for a job for 43 years, it's almost like mama was doing time with it, you know what I mean? Thank you, thank you.
Man, that's amazing.
Yes, of course. Oh, that's so sweet of you, thank you. Would you please come in and work, please?
30 years on the night shift.
It's been a pleasure to work for the city this long. I've seen a lot of bosses come and go and a lot of employees come and go. And it's been an outstanding job and a pleasure to do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Years. All right. I hope to see you around town somewhere, and if you ever do run into me, make sure you say hello.
I sure will.
It'll be my pleasure to say hello back, my friend. Those of you that came for Kenneth, if you guys want to dip on out of here, you're more than welcome to do so now. Thank you for coming down.
Welcome to join our church.
I appreciate that, Joe. Now get out of here showing off your legs. Oh, we're still in the air. See you guys. All right. Okay, next on the agenda tonight is the consent. All matters listed under item 1 consent agenda, having been discussed, are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussions of these items. If a discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. On the consent tonight, we have the usual finances and miscellaneous. Thank you, sir. Minutes of previous meetings, payroll and city claims, beer, liquor, wine, and cigarettes reports and bonds. We have 7 resolutions. The first is a resolution approving nuisance abatements. The second is a resolution approving final acceptance, final payment, and release of retention monies for the 2017 wastewater treatment facility emergency water main repair. The third is a resolution establishing a no parking zone on the 1500 block of Sioux Street. The fourth is a resolution approving fiscal year 2016-2017 street finance report road use tax. The fifth is a resolution authorizing the City of Burlington to financially support the Great River Housing Trust Fund for fiscal year 2019-2020. The sixth is a resolution authorizing grant application for improvements to the Dancourt Park Pool. The seventh is a resolution of support for the application of a challenge grant for the Burlington Depot and Greer's Restaurant. And we have 5 hearings set for September 20, we've got the first one, consideration of a CDBG grant application for the Mazel Locust Basin. That's September 25th, 2017. Struggling reading tonight. The second is consideration of a sale of property locally known as 312 South 10th Street, City of Burlington, Iowa, with conditions. That'll be on October 2nd. The third is consideration of a sale of property locally known as 425 Hageman Avenue, City of Burlington, Iowa, with conditions. That's October 2nd as well. The fourth is a consideration of an ordinance rezoning outlet of 3 of Swisher subdivisions from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Single Family Residential Transitional District. That'll be October 2nd. And then the fifth is a consideration of an ordinance amending Section B Land Use Design Criteria of Ordinance Number 3104 for the Burlington Senior Living Campus PUD. That is going to be October 2nd. Yes, sir. Why are you leaving me, man? The 6th is consideration of plans and specs for the Flint Hills Golf Course Pump House Project, October 2nd. The 7th is consideration of an ordinance amending Section 126.16, financial responsibility of Chapter 126, taxi cabs and vehicles for hire of the Burlington Municipal Code, October 2nd. And then the last is a consideration of a proposed 2017 amendment to the Burlington Urban Revitalization Plan. Is there anyone from the audience that would like to have any of these items removed? I see none. Council?
No, sir.
Your Honor, I have a motion to approve all listed under item 1, consent agenda.
Second.
Moved in second. Kathleen?
Davidson,
Aye.
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
All right. All right, this is time set for hearing for consideration of a permanent easement associated with the 2017 Harrison Street Storm Sewer Reconstruction Project. Mr. Mack?
The easement in front of you is to go along with the Harrison Street project that you awarded a couple weeks ago. Contingent upon BNSF approval, this easement area will not change, even if there is a little bit of a scope change, depending on what BNSF comes back with. So at that point, we recommend approval for this easement area.
Any questions from the audience? I see none. Council?
No, thanks.
Motion to close?
Got a second?
Second.
Kathleen?
Davidson,
Aye.
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Your Honor, I have a resolution approving the purchase of an easement from 2100 River Street for the construction of storm sewer associated with the 2017 Harrison Street Storm Sewer Reconstruction Project.
Second.
Moved in second. Kathleen?
Davidson,
Aye.
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Well done.
Your Honor, I move for final adoption of ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Burlington, Iowa by amending the standard penalty for a violation of city code.
Second.
No changes, Your Honor.
Any questions or concerns from the audience? I see none. Council?
No, sir.
Here.
Kathleen?
Davidson,
Aye.
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing proceeding with the sale process for Flint Hills Golf Course.
Second.
Last week, you had Jim Whiffles from Spirit Hollow on behalf of Weingard Realty Company that presented the offer to purchase Flint Hills Golf Course. Their goal is, as was stated, was not to continue operations, but to be able to shut it down. The offer that they provided was to purchase the assets and property for $200,000. One of the later terms in their offer, I think it's under Section 9, talks about additionally, as they were to redevelop that property, sell it off for whether it's agricultural purposes or redevelopment, that 50% of the proceeds, net of marketing costs, et cetera, would go to the city as well. So the way the offer is set up, the actual dollar amount could potentially be higher. It just depends on what resale was on the land. If you were to move forward with this, there are some concerns with the actual land. This was provided to the city from the state of Iowa, is that correct, Eric? Yeah. And there's some language in there that we would at least have to do some negotiations with the state for the portion of the property that had come from the state as to whether we could actually sell it or not, or if we would have to turn it back to them. That being said, we would worry about that if you were actually looking to move forward with the offer that's presented. I know that Mr. Whiffles also did express, I don't know that he did in the meeting itself, but did send an email afterwards that they would certainly be willing to, if this offer wasn't satisfactory and you wanted different terms to consider, they would be willing to negotiate with the council. But this is up to you to make a decision whether you want to continue to operate the facility or not.
Okay.
Questions or concerns from the audience?
Mike Elmer, 620 Iowa Street here in Burlington. as a citizen here that doesn't play golf, but has seen that golf course operate since I was a child, I would hate to see the city sell an asset that actually makes them money, that offers an alternative to the golf community. And I would just ask on behalf of citizens that maybe you consider not doing this sale. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments from the audience?
John Billups, 800 North Front. I would ask you to consider not continuing on with the sale process. One, if you are going to decide to put the golf course for sale, you ought to offer it up for everybody. Post it, list it, and see what offers you get. One of the things we always hear about is there's nothing for youth to do in town, and there are youth leagues out there. There's high school leagues that play at Flint Hills. This is a municipal golf course. It's for beginners to average golfers, which we don't have that if we close Flint Hills. So please do not consider the sale at this time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, John.
Any other comments from the audience? I see none. Council?
Couple things, maybe.
I'd point out a couple of things just relevant to those comments. The assets of the golf course can be sold without a public hearing. I think for the sale of the land, we would probably have to go through a public hearing process and allow competitive offers to come in on that. The other comments in regards to the golf course making money, it does not. We do pay to support the capital costs that are associated with that out of hotel motel funds. Some of our other operations, such as solid waste, sewer, we have a transfer from those funds to the general fund to account for payroll processing, accounts payable processing, hiring, firing, et cetera, things like that, the general oversight. We do not do that with the golf course. We have some hidden subsidies that we have of the golf course too, that we don't make them account for in their operation. That being said, it does fill a niche within the community that's fairly important.
I know some have suggested that by selling the course and developing it and selling residential lots, then the property taxes would offset whatever loss, but that's in the county, isn't it?
Correct.
So it would be county property taxes, not city property taxes, so
I'm not interested in going forward.
that would be a one-time deal. And I do want to say, this whole thing came up, we talked about this, because when we were talking about how we're going to balance the budget, how to make things work, we were looking for different ways to make this work. And so it was my idea to look at this and see if there's some way to make the golf course not necessarily profitable, but at least make its own way. This is not what I had in mind. Certainly not selling the thing and closing it down. That is not what my end goal was. My goal was to try to find some way to explore different options to see if we can make it so we don't have to do all the subsidies. I guess that's enough said for me.
I just want to throw in there that I like the direction that the golf course is moving in, and though it's not making money or breaking even, the amount of money that is that it's lost, or that is a loss, I think at some point in time you've got to weigh it out and you have to see, well, what is good for the community. I do want to throw this in there too. There are a lot of communities out there, and I know other mayors that one in particular that they're trying to get a golf course in their community. And it's tough, and it's going to cost a whole lot of money. We've already got this asset here, so again, I agree with what Jim was saying. We're looking at everything, but wasn't quite looking at it quite like this. So. Any other comments?
I guess I would just say, I haven't heard from anybody that wants to sell it. Anybody I've heard from wants to keep it. And, you know, I guess I didn't like the terms anyway. There's 172 acres out there, and to think that we would get $200,000 and then half of what? I mean, there's a big question mark even whether that would be sold or developed. So I guess, even above that, I did not care for the terms of the offer.
Yeah, I definitely think that I have zero knowledge on golfing, but from listening to several constituents and people who do golf, that the level that our golf course offers is for those who are not as professional, those who are starting out, which is, very necessary for those who enjoy golfing or who want to start out golfing. You can't just jump into something that's more professional. So I do think that from listening to people, that's what I've learned. So I don't think that it's something that we necessarily need to get rid of at this point in time, just because it isn't a huge moneymaker for the city right now.
Well,
So that's where I stand.
let's put money to mouth, my friend. That's what we're gonna do next.
have a motion, or?
Already have a
Vote,
motion.
vote yes is, a vote yes is to sell, a vote no is not to sell the course.
Right.
Ken?
Davidson,
No.
Fleming,
No.
McCampbell,
No.
Wilson,
No.
Anderson. No.
Okay. All right, at this time, we will entertain comments from the audience. Is there anybody from the audience? Yes, sir. I knew you were coming, Mr. Renteria.
My name is Eric Renteria. I live at 907 High Street. I wanted to talk a little bit about parking, and I had approached the council about getting on the agenda, but really I just have a couple of comments. I'm a goal-oriented person, and so I went to all the parking meetings and attended and watched what was presented and asked specifically of the city staff, what's the goal? What do you hope to get out of the parking study that was done? What are you going to do with that? The answer was there were three goals. One was to have enough parking for people who live downtown. 2 was to have enough parking for people who work downtown. And 3 was to have enough parking for people who shop downtown. There was also a discussion about having some kind of incentive to encourage people to move over to the new parking method where you would park from 7 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. I subsequently learned that the incentive was to increase the cost for keeping what you have, which to me is not an incentive. It's more of a stick than a carrot. And my impression throughout the whole process was that the cost of parking from 7 to 5 would go down. And instead what happened is, to keep what you have, the price went up. And it's now a $600 tax to have a parking spot downtown, which was never in the discussion process. And I apologize that I missed a city council discussion about how that was going to take place. But I just wanted to express my frustration that you go to these meetings, you attend all the parking things, and you ask very specifically what the goals are, and nowhere in there was increasing revenue out of the new parking scheme ever in the mix. It just wasn't in there. There was supposed to be an incentive. So if you were paying $82.50 a quarter for 24-hour parking, you were supposed to get an incentive to switch over to 7 to 5. If you're getting an incentive, then it should have gone down from $82.50. It shouldn't have gone double to keep what you have. For those of us who need 24-hour parking downtown, this is just a huge additional burden for downtown businesses. So I'm not sure what the process is to get the council to reconsider the billing structure for parking downtown, but I would certainly like to have you guys take that up and change that process.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray.
Gary could speak on
Thank you, sir. Anybody else any other comments from the audience? You all have been so wonderful tonight. Damn, what an audience. Mr. Tislin, closing remarks?
Just a couple comments. Our Brownfield planning grant, area-wide planning and assessment grant, we have a Brownfield sponsor group, staff and some other community individuals that have been meeting on that, and had a meeting this morning and progressing along. Our consultants have done a market analysis and are looking at some of the sites. Our Brownfield area-wide planning is focused on the downtown area and kind of starting the process of getting community involvement, and one aspect is getting council and planning commission involvement. So we're looking at, I guess as discussed this morning, October 12th at 4:30, having a joint meeting with the council and planning commission and the Brownfield sponsor group at 4:30. Wanted to see if that would work for all or most of the council before we set kind of our next steps in line. We're going to be having community meetings and other stakeholder meetings, but wanted to get this group or the council together to make sure we're going in the correct path and have some discussions with council and planning commission along those lines. So just as I said, we just met this morning and looking at October 12th, it's a Thursday at 4:30 to have that joint meeting with council and planning commission and the sponsor group, and wanted to see if that would work so we can get some agenda set. And again, talking about the market analysis that was done by our consultants, also looking at catalyst sites in the downtown, what are some key sites that we want to focus on, and what's the priority for council looking at those sites.
Well, all right then, my friend.
October 12 work, or do you need to, do folks need to check on that and get back?
I'm gonna have to check.
If you want to email back or just in some way let
Yeah,
either
just send
Katie or Eric know.
I'll say send it to council and everybody can respond, but I think I'm good. But yeah, let's
What
do
time
that.
of day would that be?
Looking at
4:30.
And that's at
4:30.
4, yeah, it's at 4:30.
Thursday, October 12.
So, yeah, Eric, could you just send us an email and then we could respond,
Yeah.
please?
Okay.
Well,
Ken?
I got
Well,
it, I'll get it.
Okay.
And
Well,
again,
he's-
that would be with planning commission and our sponsor group as well, and then we're having some follow-up meetings with the community after that, so we're wanting to kind of get a timeline set in place so we can get some input from you guys.
Right on.
Do you have anything else? Would you give us an update on the
Salter School.
Salter School thing?
Yeah.
Talked to the developer, Richard Silva, I think it was last week, and he'd gone to the Iowa Housing Conference, I think it was in Cedar Rapids, and looking at the scoring further, there's 3 categories where he felt they could have gotten some scoring in previously under applications, but that those no longer award points. So he doesn't feel, talking with his partner on this, that they would have I guess, a good chance of scoring well in an application, so they've decided not to move forward at this time with the project.
Okay, thank you.
And the Apollo School is moving ahead, is that correct?
Correct. Yep. We've transferred the deed to the site. He started some initial, I guess, just cleaning up on the property. Hope to meet with him in the coming weeks to kind of get an outline or timeframe moving forward on that.
I think my son's even doing some type of a, not a laser tag, but something like that they're doing in there. He's organizing in there.
Oh, really?
You didn't invite me. Thought we were friends. It's ridiculous.
Where did you get that idea?
I don't know.
So as you've seen, it did have no trespassing signs from the city of Burlington. Those have been taken down, so it's no longer a city property. If there's something there, it's a private property.
Okay. Kathleen, got anything to throw in the fray? Okay. Council lady, Antoinette?
Yes, all kinds of events going on this week, as usual. Wednesday starts up the Burlington Lunchtime Music Chamber Series at the First United Methodist Church. Every on this Wednesday, and it's from 12:15 to 12:45. So head down there if you're in the area. Let's see, Friday is the member appreciation night at the Art Center. So that's a whole family event, and that'll be fun.
Cool.
Yep, live music, food, drink. That's from 5 to 8. Saturday starts the Friends fall book sale at the library.
Oh, yes.
Stock up on some good reading. That's from 8 in the morning to 5. And then Sunday is the Pops concert, put on by the Southeast Iowa Symphony Orchestra. That's from, starts at 7:30 p.m. It's only,
What's the theme for that?
it is, you would ask right when I go for a blank, tribute to John Williams. So he did all kinds of scores for popular music like Jurassic Park and Star Wars. And adults is only $15. Students and kids are free. That'll be fun. That's at Burlington, the auditorium.
Auditorium.
Yep. And that is all that I have.
All right, it sounds like plenty.
Yes.
Council Leader Rebecca Ann.
That's it, man.
You know what I'm excited about, that I've been waiting a year for, is this Fireball Run starting, and that it is interactive or something, so to have such, to be sitting by a celebrity and know that I can watch him every minute and what he's going to be doing.
Oh, you're gonna get in trouble for that.
So tune in, everybody. I think that address is out there. I know it was published on Facebook, but we can see everything he's doing. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Look at the chief, man. Big Chief's back there just grinning. Thanks a lot, Big. I appreciate it.
All right, yeah, we're gonna be doing the Fireball Run. We're all in, so we want Burlington to back us up. We're coming in, rolling in town on the 26th at 3 o'clock. We'll be downtown. Look at Big, man. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a big deal for Burlington, so let's make sure we come out and show them what we're all about. Mama D, I wanna see you down there. Again, that'll be the 26th at 3 p.m. that we roll in from 3 to 6 downtown on Jefferson Street. And I went to down to the auditorium this weekend. They have the Texas Trio down there. I don't know if anybody's seen them.
Tenors.
Excuse me, don't interrupt me when I'm talking, but anyways, thanks. Yes. The Texas Tenors, and it was a phenomenal show. It was awesome. I enjoyed myself so much that I'm going back to get my season tickets, and I would just encourage everybody, if you have not done the civic music scene and been down to the auditorium for the shows that they have, it was really a good time. And that's not normally my bag of tricks, but I enjoyed it so much, I'm all in. Just want to encourage everybody out to get down, take advantage of it. It's a good time in Burlington, so. Mayor Pro Tem.
Nothing at this time, but I reserve the right to.
You always do, Bishop. James?
You can always get your chicken on Thursday, Rotary Chicken
that's
Barbecue.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wesleyan University was in town today. Dr. Titus, along with one of their new board members, Christy Vilsack, know that they spent time with the paper. They were with the school system, having some discussions, made a presentation at Rotary, and Two Rivers Bank hosted them this afternoon for a public forum, or a reception, not a public forum. It was a reception. And part of what they're trying to do is communicate a message from, to be Southeast Iowa's university, and trying to figure out how can they partner and make sure that they're a good community member with all of the communities here in Southeast Iowa in a way that provides the educational opportunities that are necessary to able to help us to grow as a region. They really talked about the success that they've had over the last few years. It's just a few years ago they were making significant cuts to their programs. Well, they've seen, I think it's 160% enrollment growth over the last 3 years. They went from on-house residents, they were using about 45% of their beds or rooms being used. This year it's 94%. So they have seen some significant strides as a university, and that's really something that needs to be commended, encouraged, and celebrated. And we need that to be able to be successful long-term as a region. So they want to make sure that they're able to be a good partner with all members within the community, and just make sure that they should be commended for that, and make sure that we keep them at the forefront of our thoughts for how we can move forward as a community.
Okay.
That's all I had.
James, also, when's the new candidate forum, the upcoming?
There's one candidate forum is this Thursday evening, 7 to 9. The chamber hosts theirs, I think the first week in October, the 3rd and the 5th. They'll have 7 of the members one night and 8 of the members the other night.
The one Thursday will be on Channel 17?
I would assume so. That'll be hosted here, and I would assume that, yes, it will be on Channel 17. Although I don't get cable, I wouldn't know what channels or what, so.
Are you coming just to heckle those of us that are running? Or?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't want nobody coming to heckle me. Oh, I don't have to worry about that.
Did you say this coming Thursday?
Yes.
Yes.
The 21st?
Is that the League of Women Voters that does that?
Oh.
It's business and professional women.
What time?
7
That's
o'clock.
at 7, and it's scheduled for 2 hours. All 15 candidates up here at one point,
Wow.
so it's It's going to be a
Okay.
packed house.
That'll be,
All right. It's going to be a party right here in Burlington, so make sure you tune in. I'm going to have my popcorn, all right? Nothing else?
Your Honor, I move that we adjourn.
Second?
Moved in second. Kathleen?
Davidson?
Aye.
Fleming?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Wilson?
aye.
Anderson? Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
This means adjourned. Thank you.
Wait, 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 those happen.